Speaker, my question, why does this government place cabinet secrecy ahead of the national interest in health? Why does it place the political security of Liberal politicians ahead of the security of Canada's blood supply?
Programs, and $25 trillion later, the welfare system has largely failed the poor. Currently, the United States spends about $1 trillion a year on over 90 different federal, state, and local welfare programs. Yet around 12% of Americans are still considered poor. We are clearly spending a lot of money.
News coverage. Guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, hey. Guys, this channel is about investigating history, finding out what's going on nationwide, being the Marias in town. If you guys don't know who's Marias, the old, nosy Hispanic lady who loves to look through the blinds. We're going to be the ones looking through the blinds. We're going to see what's going on in society. We're going to see what's affecting us today. We're going to do things that other people haven't done. Why? Because we care about our neighborhoods and our community, about our kids' future, because our kids are the next generation. So it starts with us and it ends with us. And like I said, importantly, God is always has to be first. So guys, what we're going to cover today is, why was the welfare system created? I want to know. You know, we have it around, but I never really have the full story. Why was it created? You know, did the welfare system help or cripple Americans? I would like to know that too. Was the welfare system a trick to keep families down, or what is going on? Because if the welfare system is supposed to be here for the welfare of society, why, after maybe over 100 years of this system being in place, I haven't seen anything positive or seen how the system have helped family come out independently, you know, financially independently. So we want to know. We nosy. So guys, grab the coffee. For the guys who are here, what's up, Joselitos, you know, primos? We're going to be nosy. So guys, let's move on. So let's see why the welfare system was created. You know, nobody knows why, but guys, it was a Great Depression that went down, and you know, the reason why this Great Depression happened was because there was a lot of government mismanagement, a lot of bad policy, a lot of things that caused the stocks to crash, and a lot of people lost their jobs, and people were jobless. And the Great Depression, people had to run through their savings, you know, not to me or say to sound like something was going on now, but you know, they had to run through their savings. They didn't have no money. People were like flat broke, no job, no nothing. So the government always have a great idea for the family and society, you know what I'm saying? So that was like, welfare system. It's a federal program that's going to provide assistance to low-income individuals and families, and we're going to give you food stamps, housing, and Medicaid. You know, this is going to be the welfare program. You have to qualify in order to receive this, okay? So we're going to move on later on how is this crippling the community, but this is why it was created. And you know, if you guys are like me, I'm very nosy. You know what I'm saying? I'm nosy. I'm very nosy. So I want to know who was the person behind this great idea, this great invention, because it says it provides food stamps, housing, you know what I'm saying, Medicare, but I don't see where it says it provides, you know, help family become financially, you know, independent, so they don't have to provide on the food stamp assistance and Medicaid and whatever. So let's see who was the great person behind this great idea and how did the government come up with this, guys. Let's go. So guys, the United States government got their great idea from this philosophy guy. His name was Lester Frank Warren, and between 1841 and 1913 he did a lot of studies, and you know, he had a great philosophy that controlling humans, you know, through natural and disasters and stuff like that, like controlling humans and having them depend on someone or something, you know, was a great idea. So this is the man behind the great idea of the philosophy behind the welfare system, and you know, his idea is controlling humans. He believes that humans need to be controlled. You know, that's how we do it, control them. So if you was wondering who created this great plan, it was a man who believed it was Mr. Lester here, believed that controlling humans is how we're going to solve the great solution of the Great Depression and everybody going hungry. So this leads on to the next question. So how was the welfare system, or how is the welfare system crippling families? Because as you can see, the person who helped come up with this great plan, he believes that controlling families and controlling people is the way to, for a great society, society. That's how we do it, I guess. He's a socialist, by the way. He's a socialist. This is his title, socialist. He studies human behavior. He studies how people could be controlled. And I guess, now in this great, society and system, it only takes one person with a title, Mr. Lester. All he has to have is that doctor title. And if he signs off and he believes that controlling humans is a great thing, then that's what American people need. Guess what? His philosophy would be be created to be a law, but with someone like, let's make up Dr. Maria, let's say, for example, has a philosophy that maybe there is 7.9 billion people on Earth, and we only have 31.1 million people in America. Why not give each person $1 million and show them how to, create jobs, LLC, run non-profit organizations and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If Miss Dr. Maria believes this, then her idea is not going to be heard because they don't believe with this philosophy, but they believe the philosophy that Dr. Lester over here says controlling humans is the way to go. So I guess that's how we do in the system. Whoever has bad ideas is the ones that's what the laws become, and that's what a society we have to stop. Land of the free, huh? That's what we call it. All right, guys. Grab a flashlight. I'm still on some, this great idea. They're controlling human beings through money and finances and, fake labor and slavery, because a lot of people don't know this. For you to qualify for these programs, you have to do what they require you to do. And a lot of the programs were working and, was working, and they'll pay. Let's say, for example, there was this program in 1933. It was the Mother's Pension Program, and it operated in 2 states. And what they did was, so the great idea was that they'll grant $11 per month per kid. So let's say if the mother had 3 kids, that'll be $33 a month. The welfare system would give that for the whole month, and the mother wouldn't have to go to work, but she'll just get $33. So she'll have to learn how to live with these $33 for the rest of her, I guess, the guess of the 18 years of the kid's life. And then what's going to happen after she, raises her kids? I mean, she's not going to have no experience. She's not going to qualify nowhere. But the great thing is with these $11 a month, when her kids move out, she will work for a company that has a contract with the welfare system, so she'll be able to qualify for the $11. So another way that the system crippled people was that in order for these mothers to qualify for these $11, or let's say, for example, if a family, let's say the father was the provider and he lost his job through this time of Great Depression, then guess what? They was not helping families. The mother has to be single. So what it caused was a lot of families to break up. They really was sending people to come check the house, make sure there was no man living there. They used to come do an inspection in your house to make sure that no man was living there. So my thing is, if the system is here to help families and stuff, that's the goal, depending, I guess. I haven't seen no goal yet. All they do say is that they help with food stamps and help you get a job and, pay your Medicaid and pay your housing, which they really don't pay your whole full housing. But my thing is, if this is a program to help families and help people get back on their feet after the Great Depression, so why can't a man live in a household? Why can't you help a father? Why can't you put this man or show this man how to create a business? Because maybe they don't want us to create businesses, because maybe they don't want us to be free, because they know that being free is actually being financially free. Not depending on anything, not having to wake up every day trying to figure out how you're going to get your next meal. Being free is waking up and being like, you know what? If I want to go to the park with my kids, If my kids, if they want to go to this program, I could afford for my kids to go here. If my daughter and I want to go on a vacation and go to Dubai or go wherever, we're going to go there. When have they ever taught us in school to even plan a vacation? They always tell you, you can't afford to go to Europe. You can't afford to go to Paris. You can't afford to go nowhere. So if they're telling us we can't afford to do nothing, and then they're limiting. So I know for sure if these welfare programs, they have contracts with other local corporations, the big corporations, the one that sell us everything that we eat belongs to them, the land and everything we sleep belongs to them, you know what I'm saying? So this corporation is paying, I know they're not paying, so they're paying this welfare system an amount of money to have these people come and work there. Oh, here, this is how much we're going to give you for you to bring me these workers. So you're telling me that this corporation only gave you $11 a month for that one individual person working there? So you're telling me you're going to just give this person $11, make them work 40 hours for them to qualify for these $11, but for you to qualify, you have to go work in this for a few hours in this place. So is that like, I don't know, maybe I'm just confused and I forgot what slavery really means, but okay. The Great Depression was caused by bad policy coming from government. You know, they don't fail to collect the taxes. You know, you can't tell these people, listen, I'm short of my rent. Can you please not take my taxes this week? I need it. I'm short actually that much money that you're going to take. I'm short. Can you not take it? They don't care. They're taking it. You need to shut up and pay it. Okay? That's what you do. Pay it. No hablen. So, how is the welfare system supposed to help families and not cripple them if the whole philosophy from the beginning was to control families? So you're going to control who lives in your house. So you're going to control who lives here, who lives there, because even with a mom who has $5 they was giving these people, how you supposed to pay all your rent? You know what I'm saying? I know rent was cheaper back then, but how you supposed to feed your kids, have a happy life, and take your kids out? Because if you keep your kids cooped up like little chickens in a coop, then your kids are going to be running wild when they get free, or they're going to be rebellious. They're going to be always angry. You know what I'm saying? It's where you bring your kids to an environment. So if your kids don't go nowhere, don't travel nowhere, your kids are not going to be that happy. And that happened to us. So we already know the generational step is next. You know what I'm saying? So this system is here to build and support us and make us wealthy. But why is the system teaching us how to be modern day slaves? That's the question, right? So we have to ask ourselves, is the system crippling us? Or is the system helping us? Or is the system have imaginary chains around us? Because you live where you could afford. So you're telling me, so what the system did was, they took this few acre land, the worst land that you could find, put the poor people in this land, you know, charge them mortgages, landlords, still got to pay. Make every business is big has to do with them. Every business that we buy, every food that we're getting don't come from your local neighbor. Your clothes don't come from your local stuff. They're coming from other companies, big corporations. So the corporation comes from them, the land comes from them, the welfare comes from them, the philosophy comes from them. So when are we ever gonna see the opportunities of this land that belongs to us? It's like me employing somebody as a business owner, and then I'm gonna have my employees tell me to take all the wrong steps and all the holes and potholes, go through all of them, get a flat tire, and just patch it up and just keep rolling and just keep going through the same holes. So guys, we gotta ask ourselves, is the system crippling us? Because let's see how much people get food stamps and stuff. Mostly, almost every American is getting food stamps. So that means not much Americans. The average annual salary in American is $50,000. Americans are not making no more than $75,000 a year. And a lot of people have 5 or 6 kids, And that means we're depending on the system, the welfare system. So you gotta ask yourself, is the system crippling us? That's the question.
Johnson launched his war on poverty in the 1960s. He pledged to eliminate poverty in America. But more than 5 decades, several welfare programs, and $25 trillion later, the welfare system has largely failed the poor. Currently, the United States spends about $1 trillion a year on over 90 different federal, state, and local welfare programs. Yet around 12% of Americans are still considered poor. We are clearly spending a lot of money. So why do we still have such a high poverty rate? The simplest answer is that the government does not count most welfare benefits as income when measuring poverty. That means taxpayers can spend and spend, but the poverty rate will always seem to remain unchanged. In reality, not even the government can spend $1 trillion a year and have no impact on poverty. Once cash, food, and housing benefits are measured accurately, the poverty rate falls from 12 to 4%. But does this mean the war on poverty has been a success? Not really. In launching the war on poverty, President Johnson declared that he wanted to address the causes, not just the symptoms of poverty. He said he intended to shrink, not increase, dependence on government. His goal was to increase self-sufficiency, the ability of individuals to support their families without reliance on government handouts. And that should remain our goal today. Unfortunately, by that very measure, the current welfare state is an absolute bust. What has gone wrong? Well, the main problem is that our welfare system discourages work and it penalizes marriage. Work and marriage clearly raise incomes, but more importantly, both are inherently linked to a person's well-being and happiness. For example, marriage is the #1 factor in promoting upward mobility for children. Because welfare is anti-work and anti-marriage, it inherently harms the very people it was supposed to help, especially children. Why has this happened? Well, as welfare benefits grew over the years, they increasingly served as a substitute for a working parent. Single mothers were discouraged from marrying the fathers of their children because that reduced their benefits. And as the role of the father was undermined, mothers were increasingly left to raise their children on their own. Sadly, that cycle continues today, as many children who grow up on welfare eventually follow in their parents' footsteps when they have families of their own. So what do? Well, we need to reverse the current system, which discourages work and penalizes marriage. Work is the fastest and most effective way to get out of poverty and become prosperous. Welfare.
And guys, this is for educational and informational purposes. So don't, go around and say, hey, this girl named Maria on YouTube telling me to do things. No. This is for entertainment purposes. I am not responsible for nothing because you know how, the Twitter file people are, and I am not with the broke crap today. So the real question is, was the welfare system built to trick Americans and families? As you can see, it really broke up a lot of families. A lot of mothers are single. And if you look back in the days before the system was created, there was more families together. And if you look now how relationships and now how, back in the days it used to be, grandparents used to be together for like 75 years. You know what I'm saying? Now you can't even make it past a year or two. So the real question is this a trick or a game that we're playing? Because if there is, we already established, there are 7.8 billion people on Earth right now. In America, there's over 300 million people. There's 300 million people in America right now. So if they're using $1 trillion a year only, this is just a year, to help society with the homelessness, the roads, the schools, poverty, single mothers. So how is it that the numbers don't even match up? There's only 300 31 million Americans right now in the United States as we speak, and probably more because of all illegal immigrants that have been coming to our borders recently. But my thing is, Maria's, let's get the calculators, okay? So if right now $1 trillion, if you divide this by how much Americans we have right now on this island, each and every American qualify for $333 million per person. And if they're trying to combat the problem with the homelessness and the poverty problem, then why do we have a problem when we're throwing $1 trillion just for this, not everything else that we're including? You know what I'm saying? How is this happening? And this coming out of our pockets. This don't come out. We already established. Don't come out from the elites. Don't come out from the politicians. This is our money that we work for, which is money is made up. It's imaginary. Man made it. Man created everything. So you're telling me man created a $1 trillion solutions to create programs after programs after programs and many programs and 100 million programs, but there's never been a solution to none of the problems. So when will we ever see a solution for all the problems that Americans have? We have over 2-3 million families right now on the ground and inside of the vans and stuff. We have maybe a few more million families who are about to be kicked out, and we have a few millions of families who rent went up $1,000, and right now they're working 2-3 jobs just to have a place to rest their head in the land of the free. But if we're paying for the land to rest our head, that means this land don't belong to us, right? So what? I guess our employees own the land now? That's what we're doing? I guess. Okay. Let's keep going, guys. I'm not the one. I'm just, guys, don't take me serious, you know? I don't want nobody to be like, Maria over there, Maria over there, Maria over there, her cousin who's lethal, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they're doing too much spying, you know what I'm saying? Do too much, they're too intelligent, they're security, you know, problem. You don't want to hear that, okay? But think about it. Let's talk about it. Think about it. Go home and ask your family members. Does this make sense? $1 trillion to fight homelessness, to fight poverty every year, but we're fighting this battle since the history of this country. We've still been fighting a battle that basically has a lot of solutions, but there's never a solution because right now each and every American could have this much millions of dollars and be happy, buy a land, live anywhere they want, go fishing, go to Paris. How much there will be less sickness, less fighting if everybody was just like, listen, I have no pressure. I don't even have to go rob a little girl. You know how much money I have? Shit. I don't need your shit. But we're all in survival mode and then we get all this programming that everybody just needs to rob each other. Well, not saying that, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. But guys, my coffee's getting cold. So, about to end this here. So if you're still here, that means you do care about your community and you do want to see things get better. And, you know, guys, it's all about being aware, about awareness, because, you know, we are the ones that have to live in our present moment. You know what I'm saying? We are here to be present. That's the reason why they say it's human beings. Being, you're being present, you're here, there's no changing tomorrow. And we don't know what's tomorrow, there's no changing yesterday. So it's like we're here in the now moment. What can we do now to become better people? And what can we do now to help society? You know what I'm saying? Because like I keep mentioning, if everybody has less stress and everybody was happy and we're needing, you know, this money and all this stuff, people will live a happier life. When you can wake up every day and be where you want to be and not having to stress over stuff, because even marriages break apart because of money. You know, if let's say, for example, if the husband lost his job and it's the woman supporting it, a bit hard for him or her to find a job, you know what I'm saying? It causes stress in a relationship. So, a lot of people be saying like, oh, money is not important, but money is very important because every single thing is money. Even the breath that you're taking now is money because you had to go pay for this place that you're sleeping, and you're paying taxes for even having a job. So you pay just to have a job. Hey, yeah, you can take money out of my paycheck. Thank you for giving me a job. You know what I'm saying? So what is freedom? What is freedom if you have to pay even for having a job? You know what I mean? So we have to ask ourselves, is the welfare system crippling us? And was this a setup to keep us down? You know what I'm saying? Did it help us or did it help us stay down? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves every day. What is impacting us today? Because your kids are the next generation. You were your parents' next generation, and now your kids are your generation. So what are we going to do to fight a situation that is affecting us every day? What are the solutions? And a lot of people say, oh, you can't do nothing about it. You could do a lot of things about it because there's a lot of stuff that we could do about it. But it takes a strong, community. It takes strong people to stand up and unite and be like, you know what? Enough is enough. I don't have to like everybody. I don't have to be friends. I don't have to be cool with everybody. But listen, when you mind your business, I mind mine. Give me my money. If I'm good at, let's say, speaking, if I'm good at designing, if I'm good at whatever I'm good at, let me do that. And now let's all of us provide a service for the community. We all buy from each other so we can always have a flow of income coming in. Let's buy from our local farmers. You know what I'm saying? Let's buy from our local markets. Let's buy from your local entrepreneurs. And then we all have a piece of everything. But if everything is based on capitalism, then what are we ever going to accomplish if everything we're getting is from a factory, a big corporation? So whenever they decide that they want to drop their stocks like they did for the Great Depression and how they're doing now, because guys, watch my videos, I am the Maria, I'm telling you, aquí con todo el chisme, because a lot of people don't know you can go get money right now because there was 19 different food companies that were actually communicating, which is I'm gonna do a video about it, but it's against the law. It's an antitrust law that companies are not supposed to be having conversations about the stocks and what to invest on and things like that. That's illegal, and they got caught doing that, and now they owe us money. And they basically was the reason why we are buying eggs for $10, and you're buying chicken that's not healthy for you. You're buying it for $10, and guys, it's a war on poverty, but I feel like the war is on us because even the food that the people who don't have money could afford, like those hot dogs, those $2 packs, all those little cheap ass food, that's the leftover that the FDA approved of the most infected piece of animal that you could ever have. And that's the reason why poor people are always sick. You don't see that much rich people always sick. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't even eat the food that we eat. They eat way better food. But when you go to the supermarket and you're trying to afford good, healthy food, organic food, it costs triple the money. And if you already have a few kids in your house, you need to feed everybody, you're going to have to go buy that cheap stuff that's going to kill you. And that's just another business for the system to make. So how much businesses does the system need to make? Is everything a business? Guys, we need to pay attention. And I'm out until the next time, guys.